Okay, let's go. All right, good day. Welcome to the Daily Money Markets. You are actually with me, Che Yusuf. It's another week in terms of the high impact volatility of the market. So, wanna go through what's gonna happen this week, right? It's a week of 29 July 2024. So yeah, we're gonna go through what's happening in terms of high impact volatility as well as other stuff in terms of the news. So before we go there, right now we can actually recap what happened last week. So we see a couple of news coming up in terms of last week. We see CPI coming up on last week. We see in terms of the politics that actually shake the market. We see Kamala Harris actually endorsed to become a president, to become a running mate of a president of the United States. So there was a lot of Trump trading by last week, but also there was a lot of trading based on Federal Reserve, based on the report that comes in terms of jobless claims surpassing the number that they are actually estimation. So there was a lot of things in terms of how the week ended until on the weekend. We saw Donald Trump actually endorsed, Bitcoin. Donald Trump is actually endorsing the Bitcoin. So I'm expecting that maybe Bitcoin, the way Donald Trump endorsed it, it actually jumped from $52,000 all the way to $62,000. My expectations is that it might go all the way maybe to $72,000, which is a record, of Bitcoin. So I'm expecting that if Donald Trump continue having maybe positivity in terms of the polls. But again, even the polls of Donald Trump and Kamala Harris, we realized that Kamala Harris was actually 48% than Donald Trump to, I think it was 42, 43, somewhere around there. So we're gonna see how that politics is gonna come around, because that politics is actually driving the market. So the market has been actually separated in a couple of things. So there was a Trump trading that was happening. People, they were excited about Donald Trump because Joe Biden was not looking fit to be to run as the president of the United States. So we saw a lot of people trading based on the Trump policies that he used to implement when he was a president. And after that, we saw the great shift where the stocks were actually shifting. We saw the stocks dropping down from last week, from the closing of the bell of the Friday. S&P 500, US30, Nasdaq, all of them, they were sitting at 23,000. S&P was sitting at 5,400, but they actually dropped all the way down. So that was a great shifting of the market. Now market starting turning towards the Federal Reserve, what they're going to actually say. They're actually having a press conference this week, so we're expecting to have actually stability in terms of starting of cutting the interest rate of the United States from September. How many they're gonna cut, we don't know, but I'm expecting maybe at least 25 basis points. From that, then they can gradually maybe continue cutting again on June, on December for 25 basis points again. Next year March, another 25 basis points. So that's what I'm expecting, but you never know in terms of the Federal Reserve. So that's what has been happening, cooking in terms of the market. The market has been really, really very volatile, if you are especially if you are trading in a forex market, because you can be able to speculate whether the market is going up or whether the market is going down. So that's good part about it when you are actually participating in a forex market. So turning up on this week, high impact volatility. Of course, Monday we don't expect a lot of volatility, but on Tuesday we are seeing a German CPI, Consumer Price Index, from Germany. It's coming up on Tuesday. From there, what else we are seeing? Tuesday also there's CB Consumer Confidence from United States, so we're expecting high impact volatility there to a dollar instrument. Um, an all correlated instrument to a dollar. So expecting high impact movement there. Again, we are seeing the job openings as well. Because of before the NFP, they're actually coming up with a report of the job openings, how many jobs they are actually open for people to apply. Last week we saw jobless claim, how many people are actually applying or looking for job. Then it will come the report of how many people they are actually employed, which is this week, Friday, NFP. So that will be Tuesday, CP consumer confidence and job openings. Moving on Wednesday, we're seeing Australian dollar CPI, China manufacturing PMI. The big one is the Bank of Japan policy rate. So that's the big one that is coming on Wednesday, the 31st of July. 2024. All right, so Bank of Japan is very interesting story there from the monetary policy of Bank of Japan. Remember last month they actually cut the interest rate with a 25 basis points. I think there was last month. Then the following month they keep they keep the rate on a stable or the same, so they didn't cut or increase. And what happened is that because of in China they increase the interest rate, so a lot of things has been becoming very a little bit of more expensive. So a lot of people from China, they are actually traveling, going to Japan to buy their product, to buy the stock, maybe if they are doing the business and so on and so forth. Actually, shops that are actually operating in Japan, in Hong Kong, there was a lot of queues that people, queued because of they're coming from China. China, the same product, it's more expensive. When you go to Japan, it's a little bit lower. So they are coming on Wednesday to drop the interest rates policy there. So we're gonna see whether they're gonna, continue cutting the interest rate with the 25 basis points, or they will keep the interest rate on stable. On my view, I think they're gonna keep it on stable because already it's benefiting them. A lot of people from neighboring countries, they're jumping to Japan, to Hong Kong to buy the product. So that's what I'm actually expecting from Bank of Japan. All right. Later on Wednesday, there's Canadian GDP. We are seeing also US pending home sales. We are seeing also the federal funds rate, FOMAC statement, and FOMAC press conference, all the way from United States. That is coming on Wednesday. 8:30 p.m. That's a FOMAC press conference. So FOMAC press conference, it's whereby the chair or the president of the Federal Reserve of the United States is sit on a Congress and they ask him questions based on the report that has been already come out. So he's gonna answer those questions. When are you gonna cut the interest rate? Why are you gonna cut with a 25 basis, or how much you're gonna cut with the interest rate? What do you think about the politics that is happening is gonna affect the economy, or is gonna affect the interest rate in terms of the monetary policies? So that will be happening on 8:30 p.m. We all know once Federal Chair Powell speaking, we see a lot of volatility in terms of US stocks, US index, and as well as dollar correlated instrument. Going on Thursday, there's also Bank of England monetary policy. So they have also going to announce whether they are. Remember, last month they keep it on a uncut, since they haven't been cutting. Bank of England hasn't been cutting any interest rate next for it's been long. It's like US, so probably they are waiting for US to see what they're gonna do. So we're gonna see the Bank of England if they're gonna cut the interest rate or not. But we know that what do you call Madam Jessie? She's the one who actually cut it last month, the interest rate from European Central Bank, to 25 basis points, and this month she keep it stable. The name, it remained the same. They are actually data dependency. So they're saying they are actually data dependent. They will take it month by month, depending on the data that comes from all the reports around the fiscal policies. So right, so we are seeing monetary policy there on the GBP, Great British Pounds, Bank of England. Moving on, still stays there. We're seeing manufacturing PMI from US. Friday there's a CPI from Swiss franc, so we're gonna see how Swiss franc is gonna perform. Again, another story about the Swiss franc day, because of, if you look at it, there's no government yet, in France. They haven't formed the government yet. They're still negotiating how, which one is gonna be, a prime minister or a president, this and that, and they are all in a, negotiations of coalition. So that's another story about, Swiss franc day. Now the consumer price index is coming up again. There's the Olympics that are happening in Paris. So the report have said that it will boost the economy because of, the Olympics. A lot of people, they are going there. A lot of money are being spent in Paris right now. So I think the CPI of France is gonna show a little bit of more positivity than negative because of a lot of people that are there in Olympics. So yeah, that's what we are expecting there. In terms of the government, it's crazy. They still figure it out. Even the same day, there will be a French government budget balance, a French industrial product month to month, Spanish unemployment change, Italian industrial production. That will be Friday. All of these, they're happening. So Eurozone, they're going to have a lot of movement there. The last thing on the week, or the last news on high impact volatility of the week, it's non-farm payroll. Non-farm NFP is coming on Friday, 2:30 p.m. So this is the report that a lot of people have been waiting, especially the Federal Reserve. They've been waiting this type of report to understand how they're going to have the soft landing. So in that way, I'm saying is that if the non-farm payroll going surpass the estimation number, it gives them, the Federal Reserve, a light to say that, okay, now the economy has been actually, moving stable and softly, and jobs are being created, people are being employed. We can now reduce a little bit of the interest rate, because it doesn't make sense to reduce the interest rate if there's only few people that are actually participating in the economy. That means that are actually working. If there are only few people that are working, I mean, why would you cut the interest rate? Instead, you increase the interest rate so that that money can boost the fiscal policies, can boost the economy of the country, or they can be distributed to all the field of that specific country to help whatever that they're going to do. So that is coming 2:30 p.m. Friday, and that's the last news in terms of high impact volatility of the week. Of course, there'll be a lot of things that will be happening, because I saw also a lot of things that has been happening in the middle of this week. We are seeing foreign ministers meet in Tokyo. That will happen on Monday. UK conservative leadership to vote as well. It happened on Monday. Tuesday, we're seeing also Euro areas data. We're seeing the other story that we haven't talked about is the earnings. We're seeing the earnings of Microsoft reporting on Tuesday. Again, we saw last week what happened in terms of the earnings of Google and Tesla, and all these Google and Teslas, they're under big instrument like a Nasdaq. They didn't meet their target, they didn't surpass the estimation, and we saw the instrument of US30 Nasdaq starting to drop, as what we say. So another one is coming, it's a Microsoft to report. I don't know what will happen with a Microsoft, but they're actually coming, to report after the scandal that they just happening of IT greed entire world. So of course it was a cloud company, but that cloud company is under Microsoft. So a lot of people, they were asking, why is that Microsoft didn't pick up when the cloud they were actually doing the update and seeing that it's sending the glitch to all Microsoft products, all the computers, gadgets, and so on. So that will coming. The report is coming on Tuesday. We're gonna see how their earnings they're gonna perform. If they perform better, maybe because of the incidences just recently, but I don't think from following month they're going to perform surpassing the estimation. Because of that was the big incidents. A lot of airports were actually closed, a lot of flight they were delayed, a lot of data they were actually mislead or mispointed, banks and so on. So a lot of people they started looking for alternative of saving their data to a different cloud. So we're gonna see what is gonna happen and how it's gonna affect the Microsoft report. On Wednesday there's a Bank of Japan Federal Reserve rate, and again there's a Meta earnings again. So Meta, Mark Zuckerberg is actually coming up with the earnings. We haven't seen any negativity story recently in terms of Meta, but of course they are always in the forefront in terms of crazy stories, especially during the election of the United States. So we're gonna see how it's gonna unfold. We're gonna probably maybe the earnings they're gonna become positive because there's no much in terms of Meta that will degrade their product. Moving on Thursday, again it's BOE, Bank of England, the right decision we said. Again there's Amazon and Apple reporting their earnings. Friday it's NFP, and then there's a Chevrolet earnings as well, and Exxon earnings as well dropping up on Friday. That's another different stories in terms of high impact of volatility of this week. So all right, we wanted just to share in terms of high impact volatility and where you can be cautious when you're actually jumping in the market and trade, and where we can actually understand when should I take advantage of the market because of this high movement at the moment. So thank you very much for actually watching the video, and keep watching and keep subscribing, guys. It's very 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 grateful from me. Thank you very much. I'm Che Yusuf.